Hi 9s to 10s, welcome back to your Japanese lessons for weeks 1 and 2. In the previous video, I went through what you need to do for your week 1 activities. This time we're going to look at what you need to be doing for week 2. So if we scroll down here to our week 2 timetable or our guide, we're going to review what we learnt from last week, our kanji and our vocab in a quiz. We're going to learn some basic sentence patterns and we're going to practice writing about some of our hobbies. So just as a revision, week 1 we looked at our new kanji, we did a lot of kanji activities, and we also reviewed some after school vocab activity from previous units that will show up again. So if I scroll down in my document to the heading that says week 2, which is here, it's going to be called Describing Hobbies in Sentences. The first part of your week 2 work is to revise the stuff that you need to be on top of in terms of old kanji, old vocab, things like that. So the first thing you need to do is complete the sentences by writing in the correct word. You can write in either romaji or script. I would suggest that at a year 9, 10 level you should be trying to write in script and kanji whenever you can. So the words underneath give you what word you need to put into the box. Use your vocab charts to help you with that, especially if it is one of these older words like dansu or kendo. In number 2, I've asked you 3 questions. They all end in the symbol ka, which of course we know is a question mark. So you need to read what question I've asked you and then answer in romaji. So this is going to be looking at, again, some after school activity words. Remember, if you have an after school activity vocab chart, one of the laminated ones, it's the pink color. Number 3, we're looking at our kanji and using our knowledge of how to pronounce these kanji to translate these imaginary last names of Japanese people. So you'll see that each last name is made up of 2 kanji, and it is actually quite common for Japanese people to have last names that have bigger meanings. So for example, if you figured out what that kanji means, and then that one means river, her last name is going to mean something river, and how do you actually pronounce that? The last sentences, again, I'm harping on kanji a lot because it does start getting used a lot in this unit as you get further into the higher levels of Japanese. So these sentences, I've given you a couple of joining words to help you out. The last one is a question, so make sure you take that into consideration. And all you need to do is put those into English. So once you've gone through the review quiz for week 2, we're going to move into our sentence patterns. So I've made a note up here, these sentences can also be found on your vocab chart. Yes, they can. There's lots of sentences on your vocab chart, but we're just going to start out by looking at these ones. I've put them into 2 different columns. We've got a question column and an answer column, and your first job is to highlight the different parts of those sentences. I haven't highlighted wa because it doesn't mean anything, it's just a joining particle, so you may want to do the same. So we've got the question, what is your hobby? And then obviously the answer. We also learn how to say what is someone's hobby. Like, so for example, what is your mum's hobby? My mum's hobby is calligraphy. We also look at location words. So for example, describing a hobby that you do at a place. So for example, what do you do at the park? I play soccer at the park. Soccer is my hobby and I love it. We'll eventually be able to create sentences like those. So down here, we go straight into practicing the very basic sentence, Shumi wa something des hobby, something is. I've got some pictures there. I've given you an example. You need to be writing in script and English to describe those hobbies in that basic sentence pattern. Down here, we look at Tanaka. He is describing his parents' hobbies. So this will be sentence pattern number 2, where he tells you what his mum's hobby is or what his dad's hobby is. So all you need to do here is to put those into English. You can see that I've got hobbies in a box here. That is a hint to you that the ones with the box on them are most likely pointing out what their hobbies are. So see if you can put those ones into English there. For question 4, we have a lot of different pictures. These come from your textbook directly, and you'll notice that there are lots of new words that are used in here. I've put a help box here to slowly introduce you to your new vocab words because there is a lot of new, especially verbs in this unit. So these are on your vocab chart. However, these are specifically the new ones that will show up in these sentences. So For each of the pictures below, there's 2 sentences. It repeats the same pattern for each sentence. So once you get the pattern of number 1, those other ones should be quite easy to figure out. You just need to be able to put those into English. All of these words are on your vocab chart and are in the help box. If we go down to number 5, which is our second last, apart from this one here, our second last question, this is a little bit of a challenge script. So it does have a lot of words that you've heard before, but words that we don't really use a lot of. Now again, I've got the help box, and you'll see that a lot of these time words I was talking about in video number 1 start to come up. For example, demo means but this. Chotto means a little bit. Muzukashi is a describing word. It means difficult. So if I said chotto muzukashi desu, I would be saying it's a little bit difficult. So in here, Yumiko, she describes her hobbies. You need to put it into English. This first word here is Ohayo. Ohayo is a greeting word. You should definitely remember what Ohayo means by now. The last thing you need to do for week 2 in your Japanese work is either on a blank piece of paper in a Word document, you notice down here in this blank area here, I want you to try and write a speech or a short script like this one, except tell me about your hobbies. Now obviously we haven't learnt many sentence patterns yet, so just use the ones that you feel comfortable using. If you want to try and use some of the harder sentence patterns on the back of your new vocab chart, then you can, but just a short script to describe your own hobbies. And that is what all you need to get done by the end of week 2. If you finish your Japanese work early, please either drop it off to the school, send me an email saying, hey miss, I'm done, or email me back the actual document with your finished work. That way I can give you feedback straight away before you forget about it. So don't leave it until the end of week 2 Friday. Get it done, email it to me whenever you have finished, and I can tick you off my list. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, if you have any questions, either email me or call the school and you can talk to me directly. I'll be there during normal school hours as per usual. And hopefully this stuff is interesting to you, and thank you for picking Japanese as an elective again. I'll hopefully see you guys soon. Have a good day.